This is Alan Bush with the Daily Financial Forecast for Tuesday, April 19th. Starting out with the stock index futures, we did see higher prices in the overnight trade. This is due to energy prices which were able to firm. However, we did see a little pressure with the housing starts number coming in a bit on the weak side, falling 8.8%. But this pressure was only temporary. In fact, traders on the floor were rather surprised that we did see a recovery in spite of those very weak housing starts and permits numbers. Also, many of the bears looking at earnings for the first quarter, which are likely to be down anywhere between 8 to 10%. But the bulls are looking past first quarter earnings, thinking that as energy prices have rebounded, that earnings later this year will be quite a bit better. We would tend to agree. Any bearish news should be viewed as a buying opportunity if there's any weakness on that in the stock indices. Longer term, still looking for higher prices across the board in all of the indices. Now, moving over to the currencies, the dollar index under some pressure. Housing starts did not help, of course, being as weak as they were. So the dollar index lower on that news. But the euro currency advancing on a report that showed German investor confidence improving for the second month. Also, we did see some strength in the pound as the polls in the UK, as far as the referendum is concerned for the UK to leave the European Union, improved a bit more toward the no vote, so that helped the pound to advance. But we're still now at the top of a rather broad trading congestion pattern, and I would think that this will hold up at these higher levels and lower prices are likely for the pound. Keep in mind that the pound is the weakest performer of all of the major currencies so far in 2016. Now, moving over to the interest rate futures markets, we are seeing lower prices, weakness there linked to the higher indices and higher energy prices. Just a little bit of a bounce with the housing starts number coming in as weak as it did. Also, the probability of a rate increase at the December meeting now is 60%. Plus, we do have a Fed meeting on April 26th and the 27th. No change in policy is expected at that meeting. And in the industrial commodities, energy prices advancing today. We now have the crude oil trading higher, or at least in the overnight trade, it was higher than where it was during Sunday when OPEC decided not to freeze production. So it appears that crude oil is ignoring some very negative news, putting in a good performance today. That would suggest higher prices for crude oil, and it does look like the lows are in now for the crude oil futures. As far as the precious metals, silver now advancing to a 10-week high, sharply higher prices for gold as well. And we continue to believe that any breaks in the precious metals should be buying opportunities, and this is, in our opinion, a long-term move to the upside for both the gold and silver markets. So, good trading, everyone. And once again, remember, these are my opinions alone and are not the opinions of ADMIS or Archer Daniels Midland.